JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 30th of September 2022. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Friday's morning session and also the last session, last trading session of this week, last trading session of this month, and the last Traders Espresso this month. So yeah guys, welcome everyone. Before we jump into the charts, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, a quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our jfdbrokers.com website, which you can always check out for more information about us, guys. Now then, let's quickly jump into the charts. So the majority of the charts I have already talked about. Just I'm going to quickly run through them, what happened this week. So yeah, at the moment, Nikkei, look, mission accomplished. Why? Because I reached my target. My target was in this area between these two territories. Now, it didn't really move directly into the area, but in between these two levels, but hey, I said that I'm aiming for this area, and to be honest, whenever it comes very close to like that, and maybe like lacks just a few pips, from a few points from reaching that area, well, to be honest, I just take what I have, and that's it for me. So, long story short, everything played out nicely. So the index closed in negative territory for the week. Let me have a look at the weekly chart here. So yeah, there we go. Another beautiful candle here. We broke this upside line, and that means that there is, of course, potential for this one to move further south. Now, the only thing is, at this point, if you probably now understand yourselves, that we would like to see a clear move below this territory, below this highlighted zone. If we do drop below it, then yes, I'll go further south. At the moment, I'm just observing the price action here, and I'm not really doing much. Of course, I cannot really do much because the index is closed. But still, hey, we're not going to do much here. So just observe the price action. Because look, don't get me wrong, we might see maybe a bit of a retracement or something like that. But if this highlighted zone, provides good support, so if we manage to capture something here, let's just take a pause with this one and just observe it, and let's see how we can position ourselves further. Now, Shanghai Composite, just a quick update. Not the most exciting, I would say, not as exciting as Nikkei. However, still kind of doing what I'm hoping it's going to do, is trading below that 3048 territory. So basically everything's kind of looking still quite bearish. So as long as we stay below the 3048 territory, then yes, I will continue aiming to the downside. Simple as that, guys. So next one here, of course, is the German index, DAX. You can see that, yeah. Okay, have to admit the reversal didn't really happen strongly, here. So yesterday I talked about this. We had a nice good reversal, but yeah, it didn't really go, further up here. Well, that's fine. But the most important here is that my target, the one that I kept on talking about, the 11,848, has been reached. It has been tested. So it's now acting as a strong area of support, and I think I need to jump back into daily, because on the daily chart you can see it a little bit better here. So that's quite an important level to watch. Now, if you're what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna still keep this arrow shaped like this, because if this If this key support zone at 11,848 continues to provide support, then we might see something like that, guys. Maybe a bit of a rebound here, maybe a push back up towards this highlighted zone. But if we start climbing back above this 12,600 zone, then yes, this is where I'll consider maybe a move to the upside. And then we will kind of go from there, guys. At the moment, I'm going to be very careful here because, look, this level, the reason why I'm talking about this level, because at the same time, we have the 21-day EMA, which could, play out as a bit of a resistance. So that's why if we break this level, then we would climb above the 21-day EMA. So, let's be careful here at the moment. We've reached, like I said, my target has been reached here, so now I want to see what's going to happen, if we're going to get a rebound or not. We can see in the chat room there, Uwe, yep, good morning to you too. Good morning to everybody else, of course, who's joining in. So I hope everybody's having a wonderful, wonderful start of Friday. And don't forget, guys, today is Friday, so don't overtrade today. Just, a few trades here and there, just try to keep it simple. NASDAQ, guys, NASDAQ. So yesterday we declined, and okay, so this is where the interesting bit comes in. So look, what I talked about previously, I said that, look, if we might get a bit of a retracement, if it holds, we can get a slide. My next target is the lowest point of June of 2022, and yep, or in other words, that's the previous lowest point of this year. Now, we've pierced that through. Actually, sorry, we didn't pierce that. We tested it. We pierced through this lower side of this little range, this little consolidation that I kept on talking about, and this 11,170 territory. We dropped below it. We went to test the lowest point of this year, and we almost reached it. I would say we almost reached it, just fell shy by a few points from hitting it, and then we climbed back above this 11,170 territory, which is quite interesting, because then now it kind of shows that maybe the bulls are still trying to fight back, trying to keep this alive. The question is for how long they will keep this alive, because the cash index, okay, the cash index is currently sitting still above this hurdle, so there is still a good chance for the index to rebound. So let's see how today's day is going to play out, because it's very important today. Today's Friday. Let's see how we're going to finish off the month, because if you take a look at the monthly chart here, you can see that we are at a very interesting spot. If we stay below this lowest point of this year, 11,037, then yes, well, this is where it could turn out to be very interesting going further. Okay, like I said, do not exclude a possibility of, let's say, also seeing another false breakout. So for example, if we do drift lower, we could go for a new lower low for this year, and then by the end of the trading session, let's see if we can stay below it, because if we just drop heavily below that 11,037, or in general below that 11,000 mark, if we drop below it, yes, this is opening the door towards lower levels, but still be very careful, because if by the end of the trading session we climb back above it and stay above it, well, like I said, maybe it's not really, we shouldn't be writing off the bulls yet. Because don't forget that there should be some sort of a maybe like rally going into the holiday season. So October kind of starts off with that. I mean, as we understand nowadays, in the Western world, is very popular to celebrate Christmas now, or to prepare Christmas in at September or October. So you kind of, it's all about sales. I understand that. So we're trying to hit the sales and hit to prepare people to spend. So in a way, in one side it's good for the economy. On the other side, that's a little bit weird. But anyway, not here to judge. Still looking at this picture here, guys. Again, like I said, keep that in mind, that let's say we could have a scenario like that where we could go for a lower low. We could drop below the 11,000 mark, but then if by the end of the trading session we still climb back above it, well, like I said, then maybe we should not be writing off the bulls yet. The S&P 500, similar story, because look, yesterday I talked about this and I said that we're trading below this steep downside line. On Wednesday we recovered here, we pushed nicely to the upside, but I said that I need a break of this downside line first before I could go higher, and this is exactly why. We did create a new low for this year, but we still climbed back below back above the lowest point of June. So that's quite interesting. Of course, that's giving us a little bit of positivity here. Could be, but let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. Let's see if we can break this downside line here. If we can, then yeah, I'll go a little bit to the upside. If we drop below this 3,636 level, then well, this is where it could open the door again to the downside. But again, do not forget about the similar scenario as I mentioned with the Nasdaq. DXY, the dollar index. So beautiful move. So there we go. Yesterday I've marked this level here. I said that keep your eyes on that 112.56, and there we go. We dropped below it. We fell. We started drifting further south. So my question right now is, can we reach that 21-day EMA? If we can, great. Then I'll take it from there. But at the moment, I am in kind of retracement mode, and if we do push, let's say, back above this 112.56, maybe then yeah, we could consider a move back up. But at the moment, as long as we stay below it, I will continue aiming towards that 21-day EMA. Gold. Of course, gold, enjoying the moment. So yesterday, look what kind of battle we're having near that 1660 territory. And what I said to you before, that if we move above it and stay above it, then yes, my next target is this 1677 or the 1689 levels. So these two levels I'm targeting. Of course, initially, don't get me wrong, I am targeting this 1677 territory right here because it's closer to that 21-day EMA, which could provide resistance as it did, for example, back here in the beginning of September. So let's see if we can test that. If we can break that, then yeah, my next target is the 1689, and then we'll go slowly from there. I'll aim for that downside resistance line, because again, at the moment what you're seeing is just a temporary correction before another possible leg of selling, if we look at it from a broader perspective. WTI oil, still flirting here with some of the levels, but what's interesting here is that this 81.21 level is acting as a good area of support right now. So, and looking at what's shaping up here, it's kind of on the bullish side a little bit, I would say. So yeah, you can keep an eye on it, and if we do continue to trade above this 81.21 level, then my next target is the 21-day EMA or this downside line. Pretty straightforward, guys. Nothing to invent here, but of course, I will put my arrow like this. Now, that's in this upside scenario case. If we start drifting lower straight away, then, well, I would like to see a drop below this 79.45 area right here, marked by the inside swing high of the 27th of September. If we do get that, we get that drop, then yes, I'll go nicely to the downside. Before I actually continue, I mean, in terms of the economic calendar, guys, today we had some data that came out. We had the Chinese manufacturing numbers, non-manufacturing numbers, case-in manufacturing PMI. So, well, the case-in manufacturing PMI came out below the forecast at 49.5, so it came out at 48.1. So that's basically showing that we are in contraction. Manufacturing PMI is still barely holding above 50 in expansion mode. So it came out at 50.1, better than the previous, better than expected, but still way too close. When it's close like that, when the manufacturing PMI comes out like at 50.1, but then actually case-in manufacturing PMI comes out like still below at 48.1, then yeah, that leaves you wondering how the economy is actually doing. We got the UK GDP numbers actually as well. Those came out better than expected. So yeah, they came out 4.4 actually, the GDP year-on-year figure. The expectation was for a 2.9, very pessimistic. I mean, the previous one was at 8.7, then the forecast was at 2.9. It came out at 4.4. So either the expectation was a little bit deliberately way too, it was a little bit on the lower side, maybe deliberately. I don't know. I mean, because it was very like a big jump here from 8.7 to 2.9. But well, the stats at least look better. They look better. They managed to beat their estimates. So yeah, it looks on the better side. So, and we're having some positive effects on the pound. But I'll get to that point in a bit later on today. What we have else? The CPI, the preliminary CPI figures from Eurozone. Now that's going to be interesting if you're trading. If you are trading the euro, and also the core PCE and price index. So the core numbers, PCE price index, yep, those are coming out today. Wait, what was yesterday then in that case? The GDP number, sorry, yeah. So yesterday, by the way, the US GDP number kind of came out, GPQ on Q, came out the same as expected, minus 0.6, so no surprises there. But yeah, the Canadian one came out at 4.3. Okay, so a little bit lower on the lower side there. There were no forecasts for that one. Anyway, looking at this picture today, again, like I said, the calendar today, keep your eyes on those few pieces of data. The PCE number, yeah, from the US, and of course from the Eurozone. The preliminary numbers, maybe they won't have a significant effect on the market, but just, good to keep, kind of stay up to date. Anyway, BTC USD, guys, very quickly. So this one is moving kind of like a little bit closer to its 21-day EMA, and it moved already closer to its 21-day EMA, but we're still below this downside line. My worry here is that we're getting into a bit of a squeeze. Actually, we're getting into a bit of a squeeze. We're kind of forming this maybe like a descending triangle pattern. So according to all the TA rules, these tend to break to the downside, but again, if you're looking for some good entry point, you need to wait for that break. As long as it stays in here, we don't really do anything. We're just observing, because from another perspective, we keep on like trading near this downside line. So this downside line is drawn from the high of the 10th of November of 2021. So yeah, if we eventually break this could open the door to some higher levels. AUD JPY jumping into a few pairs. Now, beautiful rebound from this upside line. Look at this, guys. I mean, I talked about this when you remember when we were still here. As I was saying, like, look, my next target is the upside line. Well, initially my next target was the 100-day EMA, but if that gets cleared, then my next target is the 100. This upside line. We managed to test it. We managed to even break through it, and we managed to rebound from it, and we managed to climb back up above this 100-day EMA. So what's next? In general, I would say as long as we stay above this 100-day EMA, then I'm going to aim for the 21-day EMA. Again, I do understand that this is way too maybe small fish to catch here, but still a fish. So yeah, keep that in mind. This is the area around the 94.77 territory, approximately around here. So as long as we stay above this 100 EMA, I'm aiming for this area right here. And then I'm just going to take it from there. This is very, like I said, small little kind of target. Hey, we can capture anything. Even the smallest, catch is a great catch. For the downside, I need to see again a break of this upside line, and then I'll go further south. USD JPY. Still watching this. Again, I'm not going to spend too much time on this one. Still the same analysis is valid. We're still stuck in this range, so yeah, not much to talk about here. We need to see a clear breakthrough one of these areas before kind of getting comfortable with the next short-term directional move. USD CHF, haven't looked at this one for quite a while, and to be honest, it's not the most pretty charts here, but hey, we can still keep an eye on it. Let me just double check something. I think that maybe this could be the case. Let's see if that's actually the case. So, or maybe I'm seeing something what I want to see. Okay, roughly like that. I think, yes. So I think that could be interesting, right? If I draw it this way. So we might see maybe a nice rising channel pattern. If that's the case, then of course at the moment you can see that we are moving below. We're moving lower a little bit. Actually, where is this? Where's that tool to help me out a little bit here? Regression trend. I think, yeah, that's going to be the one. So let's see if that's no. Well, no, not really. Okay. So, but either way, we got a hold up near this. If we draw it this way, the regression channel here, we had a nice hold up here near this midpoint of that regression channel. So again, sometimes you can look at this, sometimes you can, you can skip it, but again, it's quite interesting. We're just at this midpoint, I would say. We're at the midpoint, we got a hold up here, but then you see it, we didn't even really test the 21-day EMA. Basically, that means that this potential kind of channel thing is a little bit more more valid than the the 21-day EMA here. So we got a nice hold up near the midpoint. The question here is if we drop again lower below the midpoint. And then we clear this 21-day EMA. My next target is this lower side of the rising channel, the way I have drawn it. GBP/USD. So this one's quite interesting. We had a nice push here. Look, everything worked out perfectly. I would say what I was talking about yesterday. I said that look, if we do climb above this 1.0930 territory, then yes, I'll go for this 21-day EMA or this 1.1240 territory. Well, we managed to reach that perfectly, kind of. I would say the territory we didn't reach the level itself perfectly, but we managed to reach the area near that, and then we kind of got a hold up here, and then we started declining. So I would say this is the point where you have to kind of exit, and if you see that it's not going further to your level, just take it. If you're close enough, great result. And I would say here for me it's a great result as well. So we cleared this level. We managed to reach this area here. Don't get me wrong, we might see maybe a further push, maybe, but we never know with the market. Today's Friday as well, so if you're looking for some downside, then I would say wait for a drop below this 1.0931 territory right here, the one that I looked at previously as a good barrier for entry for the upside. Now this could be seen as a good support zone. If we drop below it, then yeah, I'll go to the downside. GBP Aussie, this one here is, yeah, beautiful. I mean, yesterday we had a nice jump here. Today we had a continuation move higher. But look at this. I mean, this is just insane. Beautiful V-shaped reversal, and we're getting a hold up near this 1.7132 and 1.7152 levels. Now, if you're a little bit on the cautious side as me, then you're probably going to wait this one out. Because at this point, it's no point of, let's say, chasing it. It might get a hold up. Maybe it'll push a little bit higher. Maybe it'll get a hold up here. So I'd rather stick to something like this. If we do clear and stay above the 1.7215 territory, my next target is the 100-day EMA and then the 200-day EMA. So I'm going to stick to that for now. Just going to grab a line here because I'm going to mark this level right here as well. But yeah, pretty straightforward, guys. For the downside, I would say probably keep an eye on this little inside swing high of the 28th of September near the 1.6889, because at the same time, if we drop below this level, we would drop below the 21-day EMA. GBP CAD, guys, similar story. Beautiful hold up near this level here. Let me just go back into history. Can I go back? Yep, there we go. That's the lowest point of March. Yep, that's correct. March of 2013. After we pierced through it, it acted as a good area of resistance, and then we sold off heavily. We drifted nicely to the downside. We found support somewhere around here near this 1.4064, from which we rebounded and then moved back up. And now we're getting a hold up here near this 1.5246. Now the question is here, can we clear this and stay above it? If we can, then yes, I'll go higher. If we cannot, then certainly maybe it could bounce around here a little bit. This level has to go, I think. Let me just remind myself what was this level. I cannot even see it, so I think it's on the monthly chart in that case. Yes, that's correct. So this is the lowest point of 2010. Good potential target. Again, look at this monthly candle, guys. I mean, talk about a pin bar. This is just amazing. So what it means, that to be honest, looking at this, it's a very strong reversal signal. So don't be surprised, for example, next month, in October, if we do drift a little bit lower, for example, maybe test this area here, the lowest point of 2010, and then reverse. And by the end of October, we would be back above this hurdle and maybe would be forming a nice, beautiful, positive candle on the monthly chart. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if we see that, but I'll pick up on this later, of course. I'll keep an eye on GBP CAD, quite interesting. So if that's going to pick up like that, let's say, if it does pick up like that, then, well, expect some other GBP pairs to do similar stuff. Now, yeah, let's jump back into daily chart. Euro Aussie, let's quickly pick up on that one. So again, I talked about this one, beautiful clearance here. So I mean, yesterday I talked about this 1.50 territory. I said that look, if we clear this and we clear this 200-day EMA, stay above it, then yeah, I'll go higher. Well, we got that. So great. To be honest, I have nothing else to add here, apart from, let's say, my next target is this one, the highest point of July of this year, so near the 1.5398. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that this will, say, could go straight away here. It could, but will it go straight away like this? It could, but maybe at some point it could travel a little bit higher, maybe, you know, find resistance somewhere here in the midpoint and then reverse back down, test this area and then rebound and push back up. So kind of standard movement from the charts. But again, also at the moment I would say yes, I'm leaning towards the upside, but yeah, I'll go slowly on this, and I'll keep an eye on yesterday's high. If I want to go higher, this 1.5127 could be an interesting one to watch. Euro NZD, beautiful, beautiful. Look, I talked about this a while ago, and I've picked up on this pair and said keep your eyes on this upside line. We didn't really test it exactly, but came very close to it, rebounded from here, from this area, and pushed up and cleared this 1.6967 territory. So basically now it opened the door towards that 1.7367 zone. So can we reach that? That's a good question. At the moment, with such a move here to the upside, I would say excuse me, I would say well, it's way too obvious. Whenever it's something obvious like that, it could be a bit of a trap here. So yeah, if you're looking for some higher levels, then I would say you could still aim for the upside. The only thing is that now, given that we had quite a steep up move to the upside, there is potential for a reversal at some point. However, this is that point where it's a no man's game. Neither bulls nor bears, because on one hand, yes, you can still continue aiming higher because the trend is up, but would you actually enter a position here? I would say, yeah, it had a good move already. So, you know, if you would enter here on a breakup to the 200-day EMA, then I would understand. But now it's a little bit, you're like trying to catch a train, and there's like a last stop left. So, but maybe, you know, the train will break, and actually it had a good journey already. So maybe it'll retrace back. So that's why I'm kind of very cautious on this. And for the downside, for example, I'm gonna stick to something right here. Stick to something this, and if we do break this upside line and drop below the 1.6967 territory, then yes, I'll go to the downside. For now, I'm aiming higher, but cautiously bullish, guys. But only up until here. Euro JPY. So mission accomplished. Test of the downside line, great. What I said before, that if we do rebound from this territory, then yeah, I'll aim for this downside line. We've managed to reach it, good. Managed to test the 142.30 zone, great. Now what's next? If you're looking for some higher levels, then certainly a break of this downside line and a push above the 142.30 level is required. If you're looking for some downside, I'm going to be missing out on all this territory right here. Because why? Because this could be forming a possible descending triangle pattern. And if that's the case, then yes, of course, we will keep an eye on this area here. And if we do clear this, then yes, I'll go to the downside. But if we fail, then yeah, I mean, look, in general, I'm probably, I have more words in my head than actually they're coming out from my mouth. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is that, look, as long as we stay in this area, I'm just going to observe this one. Yes, if it's a nice descending triangle, and if it's going to work out according to all the TA rules, then yes, of course, if you have entered here, for example, and then you waited all the way, you know, towards this area, then it breaks and it goes lower. Of course, it's a nice, decent profit. However, if it drops like right now lower, tests, for example, the 21-day EMA, finds good support here, and then rebounds and breaks this downside line, now kind of you're not in the wrong, you're in the wrong, on the wrong side, right? I think that, so yeah, and even it could, let's say, drop even below the 21-day EMA, just maybe give us a false breakout. People will start thinking, hey, great, maybe, this is like a start of something good for the bears, and then it could reverse back up and stay above the 21-day EMA and then break to the upside. So again, these false breakouts, that's why I just trying to eliminate that and wait for something a little bit more reassuring. And finally, EURUSD. So, beautiful recovery. We are at this 0.9864 spot. I talked about this, and it coincides with the 21-day EMA as well. I would say good result here for the bulls. Now, what's next? If you're looking for some higher levels, then of course a break of this downside line is needed. If you're looking for some lower levels, then a drop below the 0.96 territory is required. So all this here is nothing for me. I'm just observing this. I'm just not doing anything with it because, again, this is way too tricky. Once it starts clearing maybe one of these levels here, on the downside the 0.96 territory, on the upside the 0.9864 territory, then I'll do something maybe about it. But at the moment I'm just observing this, and to be honest, it's Friday, guys. It's one of those days where you don't have to trade too much, because you just kind of prepare yourselves for next week. Because look, if you do see I kind of approach it this way. If I do see a perfect, like if I have my rules, I have my scenario, I have my setup like kind of criteria, if it ticks absolutely all the boxes, then I'll probably go in, but with a very small position, because again, like I said, it's Friday. On Friday sometimes we get these one-way traffics where you get taken out. So yeah, need to keep that in mind. But yeah, guys, of course you do whatever you're comfortable of doing, as long as you just kind of risk the amount that you're willing to lose. That's always the case. So you only risk the amount which you're willing to lose. So keep that in mind, guys. Anyway, enough tutoring, enough of all this. Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate you joining into this video, joining into all my videos this week. Thank you very much for the likes. Thank you very much for the comments. Again, that means a lot to me, so thank you for that. If you want to catch me on Monday, as always, on Traders Espresso, 6 o'clock GMT time. For now, guys, have a wonderful trading day. Stay safe. Have your stop losses in place, and everything will be fine. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.